for you. Doubters and haters, they never succeed. Spending their lives in their nosebleed seats. You're the bomb, they just defuse. They disappear when they run into you. You're the engine, they're the caboose. Always behind in a hot pursuit. Busting loose every single time with your head of steam coming down that line. Flames in your eyes, you're ready to go. They better realize this ain't no joke. Ninjas gather within your soul. When they get the sign, let's let them know. Who got this? You got this. You know you're gonna rock this. Who got this? You got this. You got it on lock, yes. Who got this? You got this. Ain't nobody gonna stop this. Can't top this. Coming through the show. Who got this? You got this. You know you're gonna rock this. Who got this? You got this. You got it on lock, yes. Who got this? You got this. Ain't nobody gonna stop this. Can't top this. Coming through. Let's show who.
Don't ever doubt you got the power to make your own damn rules. Everybody else they fools, and they doubt your prowess, but you got moves. Gonna take that trophy, bring it on home to the winner's zone. We believe in you, cause only you can know the truth.
You got this. You know you're gonna rock this. Who got this? You got this.
Well, I make that 6 o'clock, people. In fact, I probably make that about 30 seconds after 6 o'clock, which is not like me, is it? Good evening, Bitcoiners from around the world. My Bitcoin friends, it is great to have you here with me on, where are we? The 27th of July, 2020. To start the show, strong hand, people. That is the name of the game. Have a strong Bitcoin hand. Delay your gratification. Yes, we know the price is pumping a bit. Hold on. Stay calm. Don't get ahead of yourself. There could be a Bart Simpson. Nobody knows. The point is, it is great to be with you all. Okay, quickly, let's have a look down the chat. Mrs. Bitcoin Master is in the house. Lovely to have you with you, my darling. Dan Suffolk, Bitcoiner, great to have you with us. Crypto Sipto, welcome to the show. Don't forget to hit that like button. I've seen Zaza, Rocky Palumbo, Jean Vershaw, Buffy W. Who else have you? Dan at Just Learn Bitcoin, Yorkshire. This is a tongue twister. Yorkshire Sat Stacker. I always say Stack Satter. Look, it is great to have you all with me today for my regular Monday Bitcoin show. So, hit that like button. Before you do anything, hit that like button, because so many people don't, and it helps it keep it on the right-hand column of YouTube. If we start to go on a bull run, people can find the show. Beginners can start to find good, open, honest, basic information from the start when I started this in April 2018. So do hit the like button. Please share this on Twitter as well, or any social media platform actually that you are on. Hold on a second. I normally do something that I haven't done, and that is to get this screen out of the way. Otherwise, when we get over to the desktop, you're not going to see the desktop. So, as you can see, don't take any financial advice. If you were in with the intro music, you would have seen that tweet from Matt Odell, and I concur with that. Don't listen to me. Don't trust, verify. Do your own research. Ask questions. Get in the rabbit hole. Question everything. Read, and research. That is what you need to do if you are a true Bitcoiner. And I concur with that. So, my show is all about me waffling. I don't know much, although I know more than most about technicals. I understand the fundamentals of Bitcoin, which is why I'm so bullish on it, but I don't understand charts, Fibonacci. I know the name, but lines everywhere. I don't get none of it. All I know is I just want to rant on about Bitcoin for 30 odd minutes twice a week so that some of my passion might rub off on you. Now, as I look at the chat, most of you are regulars on my show and you're already Bitcoin converts. So I guess I'm also talking to those that might be finding my channel for the first time. For those in the future finding this channel, this is one of the most exciting times to be alive, people, in my opinion. We are right in the middle and witnessing, Rocky Palumbo, great to have you with us. I think I did name drop earlier. We are witnessing one of the greatest wealth transfers in human history edging forward. But it's going so slow, people don't know it's going on. But us Bitcoiners, we do know it's going on. So no financial advice from me. Check out my websites. There they are. They'll come up at the end. At the end, there is always my previous video and one of the videos from my live interviews. And just to give you all a heads up, at the end, there will be one of my live interviews, but it is one that I did when we were on a cruise last year with my lovely wife, Elaine, Mrs. UK, Bitcoin Master. She's in the chat with us. So if you want to watch that as to what it's like to be a Bitcoin widow or the wife of a Bitcoiner that's in the rabbit hole, that's going to come up at the end. It's worth a watch. It was an honest and frank interview where I interviewed Elaine about what it's like to be married to me and Bitcoin and everything that I do around around Bitcoin. So that will come up at the end. And finally, if you want to drop a tip, you can't do a super chat. I don't have the subscribers, although not for the want of trying, I have to say. So you can drop a lightning tip there at tipping.me /@UK Bitcoin Master if you so choose. Okay, so I've got a lot to get through today. I am watching the chat flashing up and down. I guess you're all chin wagging and chatting with each other in there. That's cool. But if you want to get my attention, you need to type in UK Bitcoin Master before any other text, and it will highlight in bright orange, and I'll know you're trying to get my attention. In fact, Sean from Holland, hello to you. I think I might have said hello, but $10,900? Really? The one, whoa. We were just going to go over to the desktop. Let's get over there right now, because it looks like we are pumping, people. Yeah, if I refresh, Jean, it'll take a while, so I'll leave it at that. But that's showing 10.8. Look, that's an exciting time. But as I retweeted one of Heidi Blockchain Chick's tweets earlier, let's not get ahead of ourselves, because the Bitcoin ecosystem is so small that whales can manipulate it. And there could be a pullback. There might not be, but there could be. So if you go and get yourself all hyped up and excited, and then there's a massive red candles chunking downwards, then your heart sinks again. That's an emotional roller coaster. Me does nothing for me. If I start seeing 11K, 12K, 13K, 14K, now I'm starting to get excited, but I will still hold firm, because the name of the game for me is I'm in this without moving any of my Bitcoin till at least the halving of 2024, and then the potential bull run of late 2024, 2025, if that happens. And that's not me saying it's going to happen in any way, shape or form. But that is awesome to see Bitcoin pumping as it is. And I'm sure there's many people out there that are pretty excited by all of that. Okay, so let's see how that, hang on, my cursor's just gone. Let's I don't know if that's going to refresh. Yeah, see a whacking great candle upwards. So that's a huge one, isn't it? Love it. Love seeing that. But remember, it could come down the other way as well. Let's get into some of the articles I found. Now, I don't know what this publication is, and it's called In God We Trust. So I've left that there, but I want to scroll up now and let's see what it's about. And the headline on my thumb was, if you only read one thing before buying Bitcoin, read these few lines. I'm talking to all of you right now. I'm specifically talking to newbies. I'm specifically talking to my lovely wife Elaine and my daughter Buffy W. This is a great read. I've read it. So if I scroll down, it's really, I'm not going to just read it all to you, but it's talking about if you finally made your mind up after months of hesitation and you've jumped into Bitcoin, the next paragraph, your life will change, but for the better. However, for this to happen, you must make the effort to read the few lines of this story. And it goes on down about Bitcoin and, maybe you came to Bitcoin for the money. Now you've got to find out the ugly truth. Sorry, I'm looking past the camera. It's behind me. You probably think that the current monetary and financial system has always been there. That's the first mistake. So it's a cracking article. It talked about the current monetary and financial system was unilaterally instituted in August 1971 by the then presiding president of the US, Richard Nixon, when he ended the US dollar gold standard, for want of a better word. So in 2021, that's going to be 50 years old. If you do what I've done and read the Bitcoin standard, you'll see that the average currency has about a 50-year lifespan. Okay, so this is a great article to read, and I encourage you, particularly if you're new, to find this in the show notes within 5 minutes of the show ending. I put all the show notes up, and take the time and read it, because it's not heavy. It's a really good read. The current system is a get poor slowly scheme. The purchasing power of $1,000 in 1971 only represents $150 today. So your purchasing power of your dollar or your pound has gone down. It then starts talking about this, I love this circle, which is then followed down here, I think it's down here, by this. Awesome. If you want to be inspired, motivated, if you want to know you're in the right place at the right time, just look at this graph. This is a graph where you've got a crossover point. The supply of Bitcoin's dropping rapidly. The demand is going to go up rapidly. You are in the right place at the right time, in my opinion. So, however, buying Bitcoin is not enough. So you need to read this. I'm not going to go through it all, otherwise you won't want to read it. Beware of your greed is another great bullet point there. Only Bitcoin matters, forget poop coins. It goes on. So, people, read the article. It'll be in the notes afterwards, because it's superb and a really nice, easy read to get your head around what you've gotten yourself into. So let's have a look at some of the articles that I found from the publications. Just to really, bring to the fore this dude, the head of Nissan, Carlos Ghosn, don't know how you say that. He paid his escape fee using Bitcoin. Not any of the poop coins, not Ethereum, not Litecoin, not Dogecoin, Bitcoin. Because he knew why the value of doing that, what the value of doing that was. I don't think I highlighted anything here. It was really just to highlight that they're using Bitcoin, but it doesn't mean Bitcoin is for bank robbers, drug runners, gun runners, drug lords and stuff. It just means if they're going to move something and get out of something, they know that Bitcoin's going to give them the best option to do that. So this was just really to underpin what I'm saying, that you're in the right place at the right time in Bitcoin, in my opinion. Doesn't mean it's right. Do your own research. Like Matt Odell said, get in the rabbit hole, read lots, question everything. That's what I would encourage you to do. Now, here's a great article that is very bullish for Bitcoin. You've all heard this because it's been out a few days. 24th of July, this went out on CoinDesk. And of course, I only do my shows twice a week. So my last one was last Thursday. So this is not news anymore, but for my channel, it is. And, when the courts of DC in America rule that Bitcoin is a form of money, what do you think that is? Bullish or bearish? And without a shadow of a doubt, that is bullish. Bitcoin is a form of money covered under the Washington, D.C. Money Transmitters Act, a federal court said on Friday. Now, whether they're manipulating that for their own ends is another, you have to just look into it. But the point is, when you've got a federal court in Washington saying, agreeing, accepting, ruling, Bitcoin is a form of money, we are on our way. Crypto said, have a plan and stick to it. Wholeheartedly. Couldn't agree more. I just saw that crop up down below. Bitcoin's price will more than double following the OCC decision. Now, let's scroll down. The past few weeks have been seen, hang on a sec, let me get that where it needs to be, have seen perhaps the biggest news of the year for the crypto space. As CNF reported, which is Crypto News Flash, this is this publication, the US Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, or OCC, published a letter clarifying that all licensed banks in the US are allowed to offer cryptocurrency custody services. This is monstrous. This is huge. When I got into Bitcoin in May 2017, you'd have never had any bank being open to holding crypto or keys for people's crypto in their banks. And now all of a sudden, it's starting to become mainstream. Specifically, the US authority stated that every bank in the country may now store and manage cryptographic keys for its customers. Even if Bitcoin reacted with a slight upward movement, the BTC price is close to 9.6. Well, it's over 10.6 now, so this one's a couple of days old, or at least 1 day old. At the time of writing, the long-term effects could be massive. Oh my goodness, yes. Yes, in a series of tweets, the founder of Caprio Investments, Charles Edwards, described why the OCC's decision is so important. As Edwards explained, the decision will trigger a domino effect. Read the article, people. This thing's going to happen. There is going to be not much more time where one can purchase Bitcoin under 10k. Well, you can't at the moment, but let's say around the 10k mark, for want of a better word. This is starting to rev up now. If you look back through history and look at the 2016 halving, nothing much happened for months and people were fed up with it going sideways, and then it all started to happen. Okay, I'm not saying that's going to happen here, but what if it does? Here's the thing. If you buy $1,000 of Bitcoin when Bitcoin's 10k, you get a tenth of a Bitcoin. If you wait and Bitcoin becomes 100k and you do $1,000, you only get a hundredth of one Bitcoin, if that makes sense. So whilst you still start to build your Bitcoin pot, you're getting way less BTC for your money as the price starts to notch up. So all of a sudden, that dollar cost averaging, in my opinion, is so important that you do what you can when you can. No financial advice. Don't invest what you can't afford to lose. Don't invest the rent or the mortgage money. Don't put it on a credit card. Don't take out a loan. Don't mortgage your house against it. Just money you can afford to lose, because it is still, even after 11 years, and a speculative asset, and it could go to zero. Now, is it going to go to zero? My own personal opinion, not a cat in hell's chance. It's been around too long. Banks are starting to use it. As we come on shortly, you'll start to see all about credit cards now getting involved in it all, and it's just pile driving forward. There you go. Visa, MasterCard, it says they won't issue their own cryptocurrencies. That's not the point. The point is, Visa and MasterCard both made key announcements regarding their stance on digital assets and cryptocurrencies this week. Visa has reaffirmed its relationship with cryptocurrencies such as Coinbase, Fold and Anchorage. Meanwhile, MasterCard says that it will expand its range of crypto card partnerships, beginning with the payments company Wirex. Now, whilst we're on Wirex, I was recommended by people that support this show to go and try Wirex because, you know, the delete Coinbase movement, etc. But the reviews on Wirex were awful. Don't come to me with CoinFloor, because I looked into CoinFloor and set an account up, and then they refused my card, my bank debit card, saying that it needed to be some kind of 3D card and to use another card. Well, I'm not going to go and get myself a credit card just to be able to use CoinFloor. So CoinFloor's out, Wirex is out, so I'm defaulted back to Coinbase. As much as I don't like how they run their operations and how they don't like Bitcoin or hate Bitcoin or whatever. That's not the point. I want to put my fiat in and know that when I convert it to Bitcoin, I can get my Bitcoin back out, or vice versa. And Bitcoin and Coinbase may have its issues, but it is currently, in my opinion, the one that is, at least I can guarantee that my money's going in and my Bitcoin's coming out. So, bring on Swan Bitcoin to the UK is all I can say to those dudes over there at Swan. I've reached out to Brady, who was on Bitcoin Meister's show the other day, and he said that it's not coming to Europe for a while. There's loads of regulations. So for me, I'm wrapped around Coinbase until further notice. Garry O'Connell, welcome to the house. Great to have you with us. As always. So not only have we got Visa and MasterCard getting into it, you've also got Binance, one of the largest crypto exchanges on the planet, and now sending out their debit cards already. So, this thing, without a doubt, people, is gathering momentum. You've got to see that. After months of waiting, planning and testing, Binance has begun delivering its debit cards to customers. This started shipping in limited quantities, as of yesterday. I heard Binance CEO CZ, also known as CZ, said in a July 25 tweet responding to a community member interested in the product. Previous reporting shows an August launch for the card in European regions, so it can be inferred CZ means shipping to European customers as we speak. But that will roll out. People, I see a world not too far away where instead of going and swiping a debit or a credit card with your fiat, you'll go in and swipe a card and it will take it off your Bitcoin balance. I've already got a card that does that right now. Coinbase have got a card, and I've got their card. I haven't used it, but I've got it. And if I actually go and spend on that card, it converts the fiat into Bitcoin at the price and takes it off my BTC balance, which it's going that way. And you won't need to go into fiat. It will just take it off your crypto balance. So it is all starting to change. It is all getting ramped up exciting, in my opinion. And you know what? I cannot wait to see what the next 6, 12, 18 months brings. I really, really can't. And finally, I could have put this at the front on my thumbnail, but I'm not interested in clickbait, so it's down the road a little bit. So nobody can say I'm putting up articles about 14K to get people to go and click on them, because I don't work like that. But nevertheless, why a growing risk appetite could send Bitcoin to $14,000. Now, I've got to scroll down for what I wanted to read to you. I think that's it. No, there's a bit more. There we go. Right. BTC could soon rally to 14,000, claims a fund manager. Now, that, don't take that as read. Don't take that as gospel. I'm just telling you what these fund managers are saying. They're not saying, Bitcoin's going back to 7K. They're saying it could go to 14K with everything in place. BTC could rally to 14K. Oh, I've read that out already. One respected fund manager recently explained that he believes Bitcoin is poised to test 10,500. Hello, we've done that already. Yeah, next. Okay, with a visit to this high time frame resistance being quickly followed by a surge up to 14,000. Now, we don't know that will happen, but stack some Satoshis, people. He explained that a growing risk appetite amongst investors could be the impetus for this movement, saying, I've been saying that risk appetite has been rising, and it's just a matter of time before this bullishness spills over to Bitcoin and Ethereum. I expect Bitcoin to convincingly punch through 10.5K. I think we've just done that. Now we're flirting now, aren't we? And head to 14K in a jiffy. The party has started. We will see. But these are the articles that I want to bring to you all, because I want you to lock in and build that strong Bitcoin hand like I've got. Try getting my Bitcoin off me, people. Ain't happening. Quick interlude. I want to give Dan a shout out at justlearnbitcoin.com, as I always do. Cracking bracelets. You can see mine there. He's got everything over there. So Consulting packages, everything from wallet setup and backup to long-term storage solutions, end-of-life planning. If you want a vanity wallet, you can have a vanity wallet built for you. Questions about mining. If you send your coins accidentally to the wrong chain, there may be a way to get them back. So if you're new, it is worth just expanding on your knowledge by heading over to justlearnbitcoin.com. Not only for the bracelets, if you go to btcbracelets.com, you can get 25% off these. You can see them. These have got crowns around them, which is absolutely superb. Obviously, whoops, that's not supposed to come up. They've got their apparel store. What do they call it? Merch. Swag, I think it's called over there. Everything you could want to, market yourself and Bitcoin. And here's the thing. What we should all be aiming to do is to bring 5 or 6 newbies into Bitcoin. Doesn't matter if they come in with $10, $20, £20, $100, £100. If we all make an effort to bring people in, then we are going to help with that adoption. And you can do that by, having a beach towel if you get any sunshine. Maybe having a mug that you use that's out on show, or a t-shirt like I wear, or my little B for Bitcoin. Mind you, my name's Brian, so sometimes they don't ask. But basically, it's all over there. Quickly before we leave Just Learn Bitcoin, as always, I want to give a shout out to Pastor Phil. If you go inside the homepage, and scroll down and click this link, it will take you over to a website that the great Rocky Palumbo, who's in the chat with us, put together to highlight the plight of this really lovely gentleman. I don't know whether Phil's in the chat with us. If he is, he can't have any sound on because he's at work, but I know he watches this on catch up that evening or the next day. But basically, Phil Volman was a pastor for 16 years. He was in the American military at the time of the Vietnam War. Him and his family took in children, disabled children, and brought them up as their own. Phil was building his Bitcoin pot up for his family on his demise. You can read the story here. Excuse me. In one scroll down, you can see the story. You can also see here that he'd got lots of transactions in buying his Bitcoin very steadily there. I can't quite see the date of the first one. No, I can't see it as much as I'm on a big screen. But excuse me, lots of transactions. And then he was doing a firmware update on his Trezor. You can see here 14.2 Bitcoin, second line from the top in the narrow box, and then the top line 0. It was hacked because he was attacked. He didn't check the padlock in his URL or in his search bar, etc. We won't go into it. But if I go back onto the homepage and you scroll down, we've done a couple of videos here that Phil explains and Rocky explain how the Bitcoin was taken. And if you're brand new and you've got a Trezor and you just start and use it, I know Dan, Suffolk, Bitcoin and Newman, you should really be checking out at least the top one, well, both of them actually, and watching them because they explain how he lost his Bitcoin and how it was so easy to overlook this, which is what I normally help people with on consultations, so they don't miss this, because I have to say that Phil Volman is a seasoned Bitcoiner. He knows his way around the Trezor. He just made this flash oversight and didn't check the URL bar, and in a heartbeat, all of his Bitcoin was gone. On all of these pages, if you click the link, it'll take you here to Tallycoin. Rocky set this up again. We've got a fundraiser for Pastor Phil. You know, we're 1%, 1.09% to his goal. We want to get him to 1 Bitcoin. So every donation, $1, $10, $100, you can literally, as you can see there, 50 cents, $1, $2, tiny donation. If thousands of people donate $1, we might get 1 Bitcoin back. If thousands of people donate $10, we might get him 1, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 Bitcoin back. Who knows? But my goal on my show is to plug away at this twice a week, never giving up until a whale sees a tweet that somebody might put out there, or they tweet this link to this show out, a whale goes and sees it, maybe by accident, and they see this and they can afford to maybe donate 1 or 2 Bitcoin back to Phil. So I'm not giving up on this cause. If people watching this show get fed up in the middle, I can't help it. Mute it if you don't want to, but that's bad, because if it happened to you, you'd be absolutely gutted and you'd want all the Bitcoiners to pour out to help you. So don't ever do that, even if you're watching this in the future. So let's get on with some tweets I found. Hang on. Dan said, agreed currently reading Creature from Jekyll Island. Awesome. And building up my rage against the bank machine. I love that. Rage against the bank. Dan, awesome. A brand new Bitcoiner, but really learning fast and from the UK. So way to go, Dan. Love it. Okay, some tweets I came across. Heidi again, blockchain chick. You know, she's got a massive amount of followers. Loving all the chartists trying to figure out where Bitcoin is going next. Folks, nobody knows. Her feet are on the ground big time. If they say they do, they're lying. Just relax and enjoy the ride. If you hold, you'll do just fine. If you try to trade, you have a 98% chance of getting wrecked. It's your choice. That is a really common sense philosophy, some guidelines. And that's why I like Heidi so much, because she's not full of it out there. Oh, we're going to moon, we're going to moon, we're going to moon. She always has her feet firmly on the ground. Now, I know she talks about altcoins as well. Okay. But, you know, I only love Bitcoin. I only hold Bitcoin, but I'm not stupid enough to think that nobody else might want to hold and play around with altcoins. But if they do, they're going to get wrecked. Okay, there are people in my chat right now that played with altcoins and got wrecked, and they'll openly admit that. If you openly admit that, people, put something in the chat right now to help the noobs. If you played around with alts and realised that that was not the game to be in, because Heidi's got it dead right. Pop something in the chat. I'd really appreciate it. Armin the Parman, are people actually waiting for Bitcoin to get to 6k again before buying? Like, oh, it won't. But if I'm wrong, I'll sell my in-laws' house, move them in with me and buy more Bitcoin. I love the positive attitude of Armin, Mr. the Parman. Love it. I don't know who this young lady is, but each person has their own needs, but one of the ways I've personally added to my Bitcoin position over the past month is to set the maximum allowed amount of weekly automatic purchases through Swan Bitcoin. So reach out to Swan and let's get them in Europe. I've shown this because I just want Swan to come here. I feel automatic dollar cost averaging is the way forward, so you can forget it. Not only so it buys it, but it converts it and does it all for you. You know, so I've shown this because I want Swan to come to the UK. Dan, thanks, Brian. I can assure you I've read Phil's story and have done my homework. Love it. Absolutely love it, Dan. Well done, you. This will stand you in good stead. Dan, you come to me in a year 2-5 and tell me if I was right or if I was wrong. Okay. Peter Schiff again. I don't want to keep giving this guy airtime, but he said, and I quote, "It's laughable reading Bitcoin pumpers' excuses for Bitcoin's failure to rally." Well, you got that one wrong, didn't you? One explanation is that all the institutional buyers entering the market are smoothing out the volatility. Another is that big investors are manipulating the price down so they can accumulate more, to which Nicholas D. Silentio, I hope I haven't butchered your name there, replied, "The last halving happened on July the 9th, 2016, when the price was around $600. 3 months afterwards, the price hadn't budged, just like we've just had. It took over a year for the price to reach 20,000. If we haven't seen Bitcoin start to rally by March 2021, then we'll need excuses. Not now. That's a really good tweet. Right. John from Holland said, I know somebody who is waiting on 3 to 5k in order to buy. Brain dead. Absolutely brain dead. People, whether you buy at 5k, 10k or 20k, will it matter when Bitcoin's 100 grand? Will it matter when Bitcoin goes to $250,000? No! Buy now, dollar cost average, and don't worry what the price is doing. Just keep building your savings plan. Jean, they're mad. They're absolutely mad. Yorkshire Sat Stacker. I think I've got an idea who that actually is. I lost, excuse me, sorry, 0.5, half a Bitcoin in a week. Powerful lesson learned early doors. I'm a rubbish trader. Hodl. Couldn't agree more. Since I've been in the space, I've heard of so many people that have been wrecked trying to guess the tops, guess the bottoms. Don't do it. If seasoned professional traders get wrecked, as Heidi said, so will 98% of people. Don't even go there. People do trade with alts and then they learn and ultimately they come into Bitcoin. You know, I know Garry, who introduced me to Bitcoin. He messes around with alts and buys loads hoping that one is going to be the dream, give him the dream. But Garry, you know what, mate? Seriously, I won't argue. You know, I will be eternally grateful that you introduced me to Bitcoin. But mate, stack Bitcoin and hold it. Just hold it. You taught me that. And I'm now telling you, no, I'm not telling you. That's financial advice. I'm encouraging you, my friend. Buy and hold Bitcoin and just sit and wait. Really? Okay, what else? Bitcoin Tina. Can you easily describe the difference between a Bitcoiner and a Poocoiner? Answer. Bitcoiners look to hodl their Bitcoin for years into decades. I was on the phone earlier with Buffy W, my daughter, and I was saying dollar cost average for a whole decade and then reflect. And another decade after that, you're going to have the most phenomenal golden years you've ever enjoyed. Poocoiners hope to dump their bags on someone dumber than themselves, i.e. make a killing off some sucker. Do you want to be one of those, or do you want to be a Bitcoiner that knows the difference of buying and holding or dumping a rubbish coin on some unsuspecting individual that then loses all their money, then leaves the space and dumps on it? Don't go near it. They're all scams. Is that going to help the overall adoption? Not a cat in hell's chance, people. And finally, from Alistair Milne, Garry Kasparov, one of the greatest chess grandmasters of all time, his take on Bitcoin. Quote, the good thing about Bitcoin is that you know exactly the number, the magic number of 21 million. And we understand the formula behind that, said Kasparov. But when you look at the other side, the Fed, for instance, you never know how many trillions of dollars will appear on the market tomorrow that will damage your savings. People are looking for alternative means of protecting their wealth and saving their fortune against inflation or uncontrolled state interference with their financial affairs, he added. Doesn't that just sum it up, people? So, as always, you know me and quotes. Don't forget to wait for the end and you can click on the link and watch the interview I did with my lovely wife Elaine, Mrs. UK Bitcoin Master, last year on what it's like to be involved with a Bitcoiner or a Bitcoin widow. So wait for that. Tupac, sadly shot dead in 1996 in Las Vegas. No matter how hard it gets, stick your chest out, keep your head up and handle it. Now, normally you would say that when there's the bears are out there and no, in terms of relating it to Bitcoin, I mean, you know, stick with it. You know, the price will come up. We'll get another bull run, you know, and everyone feels great, you know, but I just thought, you know, we're going to get highs and we're going to get lows, but the lows will be more than the highs. If you imagine a massive pump and then the pullback and then a couple of years of a bear market, which seems to be the pattern. I can't say that's going to be the pattern going forward, but it sort of seems like that's going to be it. It means that most of the time you're going to need to stick your chest out, push yourself up, keep your head up, have a strong hand and deal with it, and then hold for the next bull run, if that makes some kind of sense. So, people, that is my Bitcoin show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it inspired you if you're new to Bitcoin and new to this channel. Thank you to each and every one of you that regularly support me in the chat. But what I want to do is ask you all, we need to network here. Just every one of you, if you feel my content is okay, it's certainly not a tone vase content or a vortex content. It really is geared for, I won't even say newbies really, but people just getting into the space or people that need some inspiration to build up their strong Bitcoin hand. If you know anyone, please reach out to 2 or 3 people and tell them to come over and check out my channel. If 10 or 15 of you did that, we could then swell the numbers big time, and then we as a collective are doing our bit to help the Bitcoin ecosystem to grow. So I'm encouraging you all to do that. People, thank you for your support. Please, if you're new, like this video, share it, subscribe, hit that bell button next to the subscribe button and click all notifications. That way, YouTube will notify you 30 minutes before I go live and when I go live. But if you follow me on Twitter at UK Bitcoin Master, I always put a tweet out 1 hour before the show. So if you're following me, you're going to get that tweet. And another tweet out about 5 or 6 minutes before the show. So there is no excuse for anyone to miss my shows if you don't want to miss them. Dan, I am at just the right time in my life where I can afford to be patient with Bitcoin. Having my firstborn made me realize I'm all about long-term thinking. Hodl Bitcoin, good evening. Dan, you are welcome, and it warms the cockles of my old English heart to know that I'm playing a part in helping somebody else build their Bitcoin strong hand. That is why I do this. I can't give you technical analysis. I can't give you charts. I'm just here to inspire those that want to be inspired. Bring some more people to the channel, people. Do your bit. I'm out of here. I will be back on Thursday with my regular Bitcoin show, 6 p.m. UK time, London time, GMT +1 currently. Have a great week, whatever you're doing. If you haven't already, do click on the link that's going to come up. In fact, I cannot put those squares up until tomorrow. Sorry, YouTube's algorithms all over the place, and it will not let me update the end screens until tomorrow. So check in 24 hours and you'll be able to click on that link and watch my live interview with my lovely wife, Elaine. That is it. I'm done, peeps. Catch you all on Thursday. I'm Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master, signing off. Have a great week. Cheers, you all.